process of the paperwork that you were required to fill out in order to become an instructor. Some of you are probably still in the midst of it, especially as far as direct deposit follow-up goes for. Some of you may have already gotten an email about direct deposit saying that you were confirmed, but there always is a second confirmation. So until you've answered either an email or a phone call or a letter stating that you're confirming that you are that person and that you did apply for direct deposit, your direct deposit is not actually confirmed. If you have any questions about that, your coordinator will be happy to help you. There's also a number that comes through on the direct deposit confirmation form that comes through. Please make sure that you are in contact with your coordinator. They are your point person as far as your individual classes go, and they can help you with any questions that you may have. The program that you have entered into is for Los Angeles County. We are one of the largest counties in California and in the US. So you are part of a large network of parks systems in Los Angeles County that cover a very wide and diverse amount of the population. We used to have a program where we used contract instructors, but we have revamped that process to compete with industry standards in the summer of 2020. And despite a very challenging year, we went from 40 classes to 177 contract class instructors.
Hey,
and
are you sharing your screen?
Yeah, is it not coming through and switching?
No, I don't see it.
Okay, hold on.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tracy. This is why we have our buddies on here.
There you go.
There we go.
All right.
You can see it.
Very good.
Yeah, it wasn't forwarding. I don't know why.
Fire. Now we're cooking with fire.
Thank you, Tracy. So we, despite a very challenging year, we went from 40 classes to 177 contract classes, class instructors. So we raised our instructors significantly, and we went from over 470 classes that total 115 unique experiences. So that includes all the different sessions of different classes. 67% of our summer classes are currently virtual, but as we return to normalcy, we will have a strong focus on in-person classes for the future. Our instructors are contracted to receive 70% of profit for virtual classes and 60% of all incoming revenue from in-person classes. Here are some important dates to remember for summer. The summer registration will open live on ActiveNet at 10 o'clock on May 17th for your participants to enroll. Some of you should have started getting your flyers that will have the contract class number on it that will help them find the class for you to enroll. ActiveNet recruitment for these classes happens 2 times a year in the summer and the winter. So the fall class proposals will not include new instructors that we will be recruiting. It will only be returning instructors only. Those proposals will be due on June 26th. And if you have had prior approval of a class, so if you were approved for a class in summer and that class goes forward, it does not guarantee that the approval will be continued on for future seasons. You'll have to reapply each season. August 31st, all instructor payment due reports will be submitted. We will go over this a little bit later on how that process goes, but it is initiated by you submitting your ActiveNet report that you send to your contract coordinator for that payment process to be initiated. If your session is running 6 weeks or longer, you can request a payment halfway through, but again, you would need to go ahead and initiate that process yourself through your instructor coordinator. As of September 30th, that's when we will have the instructor and participant survey sent so that we can follow up on how our classes are running. And you can find the complete production schedule for 2021/22 at our parks.lacounty.gov Become an Instructor website. This is the landing page that you find when you go to that website. And this page was created to be able to give you a very good overview of all the resources and information that you would need as an instructor for a County of LA contract class. You will find the handbook here, the schedule, resources, the COVID-19 restrictions, and the instructions on how to run payment due reports, as well as a lot of information, the video for this if you ever need to go back over it, and the slides also get put up for this. And we will have one of, if somebody can also put the link to this website into the chat box for ease of the instructor's use, I'd appreciate it. As far as promotion and marketing goes, a lot of that is done internally by our team here so that we provide a smooth and clean version of marketing that's cohesive across the county program. That includes a community letter that is delivered via gov delivery. We put out press releases. We have a summer webpage and catalog with links to all the open classes. The social media campaign goes out on all of our social media pages. You can do community outreach yourself, which is always very helpful, making sure that there's flyers at the park or any of the local businesses that would apply to your classes that are around the area of the park that you are conducting that in. There's also, we find that a lot of our enrollment comes from our internal communications. So you notice this LA County webpage. This is the screen that every county employee all over Los Angeles County from every department sees when they log into their computer in the morning. So it reminds them on a daily basis that there are classes that are run directly through our county park system that are available for them to enroll in. And we do find a lot of our registration comes from our internal LA County department family. Virtual classes will be continued to be offered to the summer, even though we find that our parks will be reopening. And we have managed to get that amount changed so that instructors will get 70% of the revenue to them instead of the 60% they were receiving before if they're teaching virtual classes. Instructors should be getting are set up to receive notifications for any enrollments that are added to their class and any changes to enrollment. For virtual classes, we have made it clear on the website that an instructor will contact them through email 24 hours before the class to make sure that they are aware of any contact information for that instructor. And they have been instructed that at least an hour before class time, they will get their link for their class. This keeps the amount of phone calls that come into the county asking for their link down to a minimum by putting this in the actual description on ActiveNet. So it's very important that you as an instructor make sure you follow through with this. You will be given some more instruction later on how you can send those emails and where you can find your class rosters and your email information. When you first signed up for your ActiveNet, account, if you've done so already, which hopefully you all have, that is when you put that email in, that is the email that will be used to send those the verifications of enrollments will be sent to, and that is also the email that will be out to the public in order for them to contact you. When and if COVID guidelines change on June 15th, virtual classes will not be necessary, and you will be able to move on site if you so would like to. But you can do that only if you have discussed that with the coordinator in advance so that we can make sure that that offer will be able to be put onto ActiveNet. If your class and on your original proposal, if you submitted for your class that there will be supply lists and supplies that your participants will need to pick up, you will need to contact your participants directly to arrange for the delivery of those items. The payment for supplies, there are several ways that you can do that. You can send them a link on where to purchase those supplies. You can arrange for them to pick up at a certain time at a park that is convenient for you and your participants. Sorry about the phone call. And you can as some people have done, you can actually have the arrange for payment in advance and ship those to your actual participants. Please make sure that you're aware of your virtual class environment to ensure professionalism. Make sure that anything that is within the view screen of the participants would be something that you would want anyone to see in the public. All specific guidelines for virtual classes are detailed in the handbook. The instructor class handbook it was available, and you did sign that you received that handbook as part of your original paperwork, but it is something you may want to flip through before your classes begin, just to refresh your memory and make sure that there's no additional questions that you have. We do process refunds on occasion. A full refund will only be given when notice is received at least 5 working days prior to the first scheduled class. We do not issue refunds once someone has participated in a class. Absences or class cancellations and wait lists. So if you're going to be absent, please, from a class and you're going to have to schedule a makeup, please make sure your coordinator knows. That way, if for some reason they didn't see the email or they didn't know it was going to be canceled, we are aware of that so that we can provide the best customer service for any patrons that contact us directly. We do provide the ability for people to wait list onto your class. So if you're an in-person class and you have 15 enrolled and somebody withdraws, there is an ability to move that person over from the wait list. That has to be done from your coordinator. And they can, while they move them off from the wait list and enroll them, they will not be officially enrolled until they actually log into their account and pay for that class that they have been moved from the wait list to onto the original roster. We do have policies that pertain to volunteer and subcontractors. You are the instructor. You must be present when any of the classes are going in session. You cannot have someone stand in your place. If you do have employees that work for you that would be teaching classes, you would have had to let us know that at the beginning of the period. They have to be you have to provide workers' comp insurance, and they have to have been background checked as well. So if you have not already gone through that policy, please through that process, please be aware that you are the only one that is allowed to provide the instruction for your classes. There is detailed information about incident reporting inside this handbook. And so it's very important that you coordinate with your coordinator if there are any incidents that happened during your class time. The current agreement that you sign will be valid until the end of summer season, August 21st, 2021, and then at that time we'll have new agreements that are sent out. Insurance requirements. When you apply for your class, we provide the information to our internal insurance department, and they decide whether or not additional insurance is required for those classes. Most of the time, there's no additional insurance required unless it's a high-risk class, and those would be water sports, skateboarding, some martial arts, and some other high-risk activities. At this point, you should have already been contacted if any of that was required, and if you have any questions, that's something you can discuss with your coordinator. Again, workers' compensation is only required for those that have individual staff, and that is something you would have put in your original proposal as their background information, and that information would have already had to have been supplied. Now we move to ActiveNet. So ActiveNet is our online registration portal for our participants where they can log in and make a profile and sign up for any of our classes within ActiveNet. Once they become an ActiveNet participant and they opt in for email, they will also get any emails that we send out that are telling about the new seasons. So your classes will go out to all the prior participants of any class that was registered through ActiveNet. If ActiveNet is a foreign word to you, that means you may not have applied for your account. When you go on, you may be confused, thinking you need to go to a different page and enroll as an instructor. You do not. The process is just that you create an account on ActiveNet. And when you create your account, it's a reminder that the phone number and the email that you put on there is what we will put out as public information in order for the individual participants to be able to reach the instructor. If you do not want we need to be able to put your email out there, but if you do not want your phone number in there, you need to make sure that you contact your instructor to to let us know, because right now it is our procedure to make the phone number and the email live for the patrons' access to be able to reach their instructor. You should at this point have instructor access. You will know you do if when you log into your ActiveNet account, you see that there is a separate section that says instructor services. If you do not have that, please contact your coordinator and they will be able to assist you. That is something we do on the backside where we take your customer portal and we turn it into an instructor portal. That instructor portal will be linked to your classes and allow anytime anyone becomes enrolled, you will get notification of that. If there's any changes to any enrollment in any of your classes, you will also get notification for that. There are tutorial videos available on the Become an Instructor website. And we will also be doing, we got a lot of requests in the earlier 10:30 class and we listened. So we will be holding a little quick ActiveNet tutorial live so that you will be able to ask your questions and getting more additional assistance that you need with ActiveNet so that you can use that, that portal for all of its capabilities. It's really an incredible program. When you go on to the Become an Instructor, you press Control and click for any of those YouTube link tutorials that will show you what the My Account page looks like, how to view a roster, how to create and print sign-in sheets, and the process for completing the payment due reports, which is the first step that you initiate in order to get your payment at the end of the season. And please make sure if you are a licensed small business that you do let us know when you when you submit that payment due report, because there is a different procedure for putting in your payment. And we want to make sure that we're aware of that because we don't always know that on our side when we get your information. Roles and responsibilities of the DPR staff. So the administrative procedures that we do on our side is the evaluation and the approval of classes, which is what you've already gone through, checking your references and your background check and the fingerprinting process. Don't panic. I know you all weren't fingerprinted, but that's because we're not doing it live yet. But down the line, when we open that back up, you will be expected to come in and go through the fingerprinting process. We do set up the facilities, not with any of your materials, but just we make sure that tables or chairs, if they are going to be provided, which right now they're not because it's outdoors, but at the time that they are, we do provide some of those to be available for your use. We mostly just make sure that the facilities that you will be using are clean and presentable and ready to construct your class. We do provide marketing, both your activities in ActiveNet and through social media. We handle the refunds and general inquiries, and we reserve the class locations so that they cannot be rented and will be used just solely for your classes. The survey and the auditing of classes will be done on a quarterly basis. However, right now for virtual classes, I think some of you are aware we've been asking for a small snippet from one of your classes for you to record it and send it to us. This allows us to audit all those virtual classes without disturbing your class and logging in. We do ask that you let your participants know and let them know that it is simply for our internal use for us to be able to see your class and know that we are following through and checking in on the classes that we put out through LA County. We are available for your support and assistance, both the supervisors on site at any park that you will be out, or your coordinator for your agency and your district. We are there to answer any questions that you have. We have instructions and videos on how to write class descriptions. We are here to help you make sure that you adhere to COVID guidelines. And we request that you try and keep an eye on your email. We know we have a lot of email that goes out to you, but we try and keep it as limited as possible and as clear as possible. But we do ask that you do keep an eye on your email, as that is the best way for us to communicate with you. And please try and at least respond back. I saw it within 24 hours so that we know that we're still in communication with you. And our goal is always to make sure that we pay our instructors in time, but we are not perfect. So if you haven't gotten any confirmation or anything after you send that payment due report, it is perfectly fine to respond back and say, hey, I didn't get a confirmation. I just wanted to make sure you got our payment due report. We promised we would never do this on purpose, but as you know, everybody has things that slip through the the cracks. And the last thing we want to slip through the crack is anything that requires money and that causes money to come not go into your pocket on time. The instructor responsibilities are all in your hands. We ask that you do try to respond to our emails within 24 hours, even if it's just to say that you got it and you reply to it as soon as possible. Um, Please make sure that you do send an email prior to 24 hours before the first class to introduce yourself and give instructions on the meeting place for in-person classes or login instructions for the virtual classes. You will be required to provide your own platform if you have not already been told that for your virtual classes. And two, please make sure that you CC your coordinator so that we will have this information as well as in case we are contacted, we make sure that information goes to both the general line and to our coordinators and the people in our park so that if anybody reaches out, we can try and get them onto that link as soon as possible. Watch your emails, please, even after that 24 hours, because we have people, 20 minutes sign up before the class, and we want to make sure they get the link. So even though you've sent out the link, do a quick check of your email before the class starts to see if you've had any additional enrollees. Please arrive early to set up on site and also to log into your virtual classes if possible, just so no one logs in and thinks they're in the wrong place or shows up to a park and isn't quite sure where they need to go. Avoid class cancellations whenever possible, but usually I suggest when I'm setting up my instructors with classes that they leave a week at the end of the session in the season to have any makeup classes if that's something that they're capable of doing. Please submit again, I'm going to say it again, submit your payment due reports on time and do follow up because I have found that people will send them and every once in a while one slips through and we don't want that to happen. And remind us if you are an LSBE. Submit your proposal and agreements by the stated deadline. And again, that will be in June for the upcoming fall classes. Adhere to the guidelines in the handbook and support DPR's mission, vision, and values. Oops. So the mission, vision, and values of LA County Parks and Recreation, our mission is to serve as stewards of parklands, to build healthy and resilient communities and advance social equity and cohesion. And all of the classes that we have brought on board obviously support the mission, vision, and values of our county. Parks and Recreation Division. And we are so happy that you chose to come and teach your classes with us to be able to provide these experiences for our communities. Our core values include integrity and dedication, inclusion, health and wellness, compassion, innovation, stewardship, and sustainability. And we couldn't do this without the help of all of you instructors who have offered to bring your services to the county and our patrons. I'm going to go over a little bit of the COVID guidelines. We're hoping that some of these will it's anticipated that the reopening of recreation and community centers will begin June 15th. If you haven't already spoken with your coordinator about the option of going in person, I'm not sure if that is still available as we've blocked out a lot of the rooms and now those have become live for reservations, but please reach out to your coordinator if that's not something you've already discussed. Current guidelines call for health and fitness classes to reopen with a participation limit of 15 people and must be held outdoors. And other classes must be held virtually until the guidelines change. So these are things like arts, music production, comedy, and improv, and such as those. Again, we will not be making any of those in person until we are sure that the June 15th guideline has changed. And last but not least, your contact class coordinators information is on this page. Most of you have figured out by now we are split up into 4 agencies. That is the South Agency, the Regional Agency, the North Agency, and the East Agency. And then we have our department coordinators, Trevor, who handles most of our ActiveNet, and then the wonderful Lorraine and Tracy, who head up this contract class program. We are all always available to take any of your questions. And if you're not sure who your coordinator is, just look from the last email you got, and that's probably who it came from. We will open this up to questions now. So you can raise your hand, and Tracy, if you can help me by calling on people, since I can't see it, in the chat box, who may have some questions for us.
So far, they're very minimal, very different from this morning, Susan.
Wow,
Questions have been like very minimal, so there's not any questions in the chat box. If there's any
wow.
questions, unmute themselves and ask questions.
I raised my hand.
I think it must have been, I'll get right there. I think it must have been that thing in the beginning where I said, just wait, I promise I'll probably cover it. But yes, what's your
Miss
question?
Anisha.
Hi. Yes, Miss Isa. Hi. Hello. Do you need, let me see. I've not used Microsoft Teams before. I think I've used Google Meet. Hello.
Hi, we can hear you.
Okay, I am the founder of the Academic Convenience Store, so Mega Math Boot Camp, and I believe I'm South Agency.
Yeah, you're mine.
Oh, is this Susan Corey?
Yes, it is.
Oh, hi. So my question, the slides, will you be able to email those to us? Because
They will be available on the instructor website, but you have my email. Yes, if you email me and say send me the slides, I'll send them back to you.
Oh, please. Okay, because I'm like trying to write stuff down. I'm like, oh my God.
No, we'll take care of it for you.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. And then also, I had one more question was something about a mid-course, because mine I so far set up for 6-week sessions, 6 hours.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, so 6 weeks, you'll wait till the end. If you're over 6 weeks, then you can request payment halfway through at 4 weeks.
okay.
But I usually, because the season is 12 to 13 weeks long, I usually have my instructors set up 2 6-week sessions.
Okay, so for 6-week sessions, we
Yep, you
can't
just do it at the end. Yep, at the end of the 6 weeks. Yep.
Okay, and then there'll be more reminders of how to submit these document payment forms or something, or it's on ActiveNet.
We're going to have another ActiveNet class, but you can also, there's videos on the instructor page that show you and walk you through how to do that. And you can also try to find me, but you can also email Craig. Craig is the South Agency's ActiveNet coordinator. And if you email Craig, you'll see him listed on some of those emails, or you can email me and ask for his contact, and he'll be able to walk you through ActiveNet.
Okay, and then one last thing for myself. Are we required to use Microsoft Teams, or I have my own Zoom account? How do they want us to?
You get to use whatever platform you prefer, and you will send your link out one of 2 ways. You'll either pull a roster with their emails. If you do that and you don't send it directly through ActiveNet, you will want to make sure that you CC your coordinator, so I have your information. And through ActiveNet, we do want to point out that there is a little quirk when you send out an email through the, if you're dealing with youth, sometimes there is not an email for the youth. So when you go to send out an email to everybody, it won't go to the participant because the youth doesn't have an email. So you want to make sure you pull a roster with email to see if there's an email listed. And if not, there is an option where you can check to get head of household email to get that email. But again, any specific questions or problems you have like that, reach out to your coordinator. We're more than happy to help you.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much for the time.
Hi, Susan. I have a question in the chat box, and this is directed for you because you're our ActiveNet queen.
That's me.
It says, oh, I lost it. Where'd it go? Oh, crap.
Can I get my instructor website set up? Is that the
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So part of what I had said before is if ActiveNet sounds absolutely foreign to you and you haven't gone in and done what's called a customer profile on ActiveNet, can you put the ActiveNet link in the chat, or do you need me to do it? Or somebody can. Jennifer, I think, is on. Somebody put the ActiveNet link in the chat. So you want to build a profile just like a customer does. And then what happens is you let your coordinator know that you set up your ActiveNet profile. They'll go in. They should have at this point already noticed that they couldn't link you to your class. But if they didn't, or if you're confused at all, contact your coordinator. But once you build that customer profile, then we go in on the backside and make you an instructor. So if you have set up an ActiveNet profile and you're wondering if you've been listed as an instructor, when you log in, you'll see that there's an extra set of stuff at the bottom that says instructor actions. I think it's instructor actions. I could be wrong, but it's instructor something. And that's where it lists all the different things that you can do, like email your participants, run a roster, and you can also click on the schedule. Now, the schedule is a really cool tool. You do have to put dates in there and make sure it includes at least one of the dates of your classes. And when you pull that up, you can look at the session and it will show you even now before it goes live to the public what it will look like when people look at your class live on the county website. So that's a good thing to review to make sure all the information was input correctly, even before you get your flyer. I think that answered the instructor questions. Again, you can reach out to your coordinator and ask. You can type ActiveNet in your email search box, and if you ever signed up for an ActiveNet account, you'll know it'll come up with an email. Any other questions about ActiveNet or anything else?
Same question that was relating to what you just made mention to. They asked, where do you find the payment report?
Yeah, the payment report is another one that is listed. It is listed under your instructor actions on your ActiveNet account.
That's pretty much it.
I know there's a lot of stuff about flyers and we do, because we have our own we are branding this program and putting it out there in a lot of different places, and there, I think everybody knows the importance of branding. If you have a particular website or something like that, do you want to appear on your flyer, you can talk to your coordinator and they can try arrange it for that to go on your flyer. If you are producing any media that you're going to be putting out separately from our Canva flyers, please make sure you clear that with your coordinator. It is something that we do need to send to our media department so that they look it over, just to make sure that it presents the program in the proper light.
Really hard time. ActiveNet. Susan, are you guys creating, I believe in the earlier we mentioned about particularly creating some kind of video to share with the instructors for ActiveNet? I got a couple.
We're going to I got an email on it. We're creating a quick little tutorial class next week, and we will record it as well. We'll send out an information. So if you want to log in, just like this one, onto the orientation that talks about ActiveNet, we'll walk you through the major things that we've done, the things that you will normally have to do on a regular basis, just a quick overview of it. Again, you can talk to your coordinator individually. You can go on to that session. We'll also record that session, and you'll be able to find that on the instructor page.
Thank you.
Well, this was much easier.
Yeah, very much easier.
I'm session.
I have a question real quick. Hi, Anna here. Sorry, there's super noisy where I'm at right now. I have a question about that you said that after June 15th that the COVID mandate might change, and that like online classes can potentially go in person. Does that have to happen, or can we stay online? I'm just saying because people might sign up from different locations and can't go on in person.
Unless you have already spoken to your coordinator and put on your ActiveNet description that class could possibly go live, we do not suggest you go live, because again, exactly like you said, that would limit your participation and could cause people to request refunds because they were planning on a virtual class.
And then one other question about so I thought, and I might be wrong, but I haven't been to the park. I'm gonna go next week. I'm in. It says I thought it said it was in a classroom. I have some classrooms being assigned, or they're all outside. Like there's one I saw a classroom in my list.
It might say virtual classroom, which is what we.
No, I have an in-person one too.
Oh, you have an in-person one. Again, that's specific to something that you would talk to the people at the park about, or to your coordinator about.
Okay, so when I go to the park, I can ask, like, are there people there already?
We do have staff that are there usually, but it's best to contact your coordinator and maybe they can set up an appointment for you. as
Okay.
staff are still kind of, we only have very limited staff on site at the park with limited hours.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll email. I think it's Tracy, my coordinator.
Oh yeah, Tracy will help you out. She's on here now. She'll know.
That's you will need
Is there
to.
anybody else who has any questions? I don't know if we missed any in the chat box.
No, that's it. We're good.
I know there was a question about virtual classes. I don't know if that got answered. Yes, if they can sign up from anywhere. We had somebody not even in this country, I think, sign up for one of the classes virtually. So yes, absolutely. They can sign up from anywhere, even if they're not an LA County resident for any of our classes, whether they're on site or virtual.
Hello, I have a question. I'm unable to chat because I can't find an enter button or
Oh,
something.
that's okay. Just tell me what you need.
Okay, my question is, I was able to see my schedule last week, but I can't see it anymore. And then the other thing is, when I saw my schedule, I see it's in 2 sessions, and now I have plans to go to Texas in July. My first session ends July 10th, which is
It,
good.
I can already tell you, just go ahead and reach out to your coordinator. They're the ones that will need to they'll work with you on getting that before it goes out live if there's adjustments that can be made.
Okay, that's what I
Okay?
wanted to do
Yeah,
before.
absolutely. They handle that all individually. That's what we're here for.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Um,
Susan, I believe Nicole has questions, but I'm not sure if if she's able to unmute herself.
Nicole, if you can unmute yourself, unmute yourself. We can't hear you. We can see you in your chat if you want to type the question. And we don't have the ability to unmute you, or we would. Oh, okay, Nicole. Do you know what park you're at or who your coordinator is? Met with Russ. Anybody know who Russ is? Newhall?
Yes, that's a regional.
Regional.
Yes.
Okay, and Tatiana, you're on, right?
Yes.
Tatiana, can you type your email in the chat box so she can get a hold, so he can touch base with
Sure.
you? She can. Nicole, Tatiana's going to put her information in the chat box. She works very closely with Marlene, your coordinator. She's amazing. She's going to type her email in the chat box. You go ahead and reach out to her, and she will answer any questions and take really good care of you.
Susan, there's a question about in the virtual classes, you request a letter of introduction 24 hours before the class. Is there a guideline to this letter?
Good question. I don't think we've written a guideline for that letter. It just should be a simple introduction. If you need help, I'm sure your coordinator would be more than happy to help you, or our writing guru, Tracy, but she writes all my emails. Uh, maybe we should write one of those. But yeah, no, just a quick introduction email, just saying, hi, I'm your instructor. This is how you get a hold of me. If it's virtual, expect your link, an hour before the class at the latest, just that. But we don't have one, but I'm sure any of us would be more than happy to help you if you felt like you need help. But just a quick email.
Oh, we have a couple of instructors who potentially clicked on the wrong link.
Oh.
It says, I'm doing 3 classes. Are all payment requests due August 31st?
Nicole, that'll depend on how long those classes are. And again, Tatiana will be more than happy to answer any of those questions for you. She's very capable. And yes, all of you who've ended up on the wrong link, maybe you ended up with the 10:30 class, the 10:30 session instead of this one. We have recorded both session. We will be more than happy to make sure that you get a copy of this, but I believe we're posting this video on our instructor website. Does somebody want to type that instructor website link one more time into the chat box? And the recording will be available. If you have any specific questions, I still have some time. I can stay on, and you can unmute yourself, raise your hand and unmute yourself, and then you can ask any questions that you have. But yes, this presentation can be emailed to you by your coordinator. It will be available on the instructor website, and the recordings of these sessions will also be there. The online classes, that is not correct. All virtual classes are also promoted by us. And we will supply flyers for you as well from Canva. If you have any problems with the coordinator or anybody else, you're welcome to reach out to any one of us. I'm going to put the email back on the screen. There are lots of emails there. This is Susan Curry. Tracy's on the line. There also is the contract class. This is the best email in the world because this gets directed directly to the right person. So if you send an email to contractclasses@parks.lacounty.gov, if the person that gets the email is not the correct person that can answer that question, it'll get forwarded to who is. Okay, let's see. Do we have any more? Online classes can be larger than 15. Absolutely. It's whatever your individual portal will hold. Make sure you take a peek at your ActiveNet schedule and see what the minimum and maximum have been put on for your class. And if you want that raised for 15, the 15 guideline is only for outside in-person classes.
Question, do we send the access code to each class, or are they submitted through LA sites or website?
So no, you would definitely send the access code to your class. We don't want to put it live because then people who haven't paid would not be able to log in. So that is done through the ActiveNet website or individually after you pull a roster and get the emails, and your coordinator can help you with that process. We're also having an ActiveNet kind of overview class that we're putting together, and you'll get information more on that in the next couple days. Yes, speak to your coordinator to increase the size of your virtual classes.
I think you have some hands raised.
Yeah, those I can't see. So if somebody, can you call on the ones that you see
Miss
to unmute their
Aisha?
line?
Is a Miss Aisha?
Hello? Hi.
Hi, what's your question?
Oh, I was saying if they could put the link again to the the instructor website.
Absolutely. I think it's the create your own class that Tatiana just put up. Create your own class at LA County Parks. That is the link to the instructor website.
Okay, create your own class. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Kanisha?
My question was answered.
Woo, that makes me happy.
Susan? Guest?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, thank you for this. I'm wondering about the phone number. The phone number, my phone number that will be going out to the students. Now, and you said that if we want to take the phone number off, that
You
we should
con-
talk to our
Yes.
coordinator. And
Yes.
is this just for the students, or does this phone number go up on my website or my my presentation in my classes?
You can, when you look at when you go on ActiveNet and you review the on the schedule and you click on your class, you'll see what is shown to the public. And if your email and phone number have been checked, I believe they go live on the class. That way before they enroll, they can ask any questions they have about the class to you.
I see. Okay. So
if you don't want that phone number on there, that is something you'd have to contact the coordinator about, because that's done on the instructor side of the website.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Jennifer Chapman?
Until she unmutes, I'm going to go ahead and answer Luisa's question that's in the chat. It says, can we include a phone number to help people who have trouble logging on? I always have at least one person who needs help. That would have to be through you because we can't help them log on because we are not in charge of your portal and we're not familiar with it. And now I think the hand raised, is that?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Great. So I wanted to say thanks for providing this information. I had two quick questions. One, I believe you said that we should address our questions to our coordinators and that our coordinator would be the person who sent us our emails. But I received emails from Mr. Rios and I don't see him listed on this page.
He's, I also have 3 people that help me in different capacities.
Okay.
Stephen is actually someone who supports Alex Noriega. So
Okay.
he is the agency coordinator, but Stephen sends out a lot of his emails, does a lot of the ActiveNet stuff. We all have our support staff that work with us.
Got it.
But yeah, he works under Alex in the South Agency.
Wonderful. And then my other question was about ActiveNet. I'm wondering if you know if we would be able to place a link to ActiveNet on our link trees.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And you are lucky. Stephen is an ActiveNet guru. So if you have any questions, I trained him well. He's like my protege.
Okay.
So you just call Stephen. He'll help you. He's amazing.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Ariana Bornhoft.
Hi. Yeah, I just had a quick question. I was just wondering, is there a way to put in a photo in our ActiveNet profile?
Good question.
not?
I think there is, but we're just learning ActiveNet too. So
Okay, 'cause I couldn't.
if you see my email up there, S Curry, the one on South Agency, shoot me that question or send it to contract classes at Parks because I'd like to look into that.
Okay, thank
And
you.
I know we can put your bio in there, and we haven't done that yet either. So that's something we're wanting to do. But to tell you the truth, we're still getting through this process just as much as you guys are. So we definitely want to add bios, and we can still do that. It's especially now that the bulk of our inputting has already been done. So now that we have the bulk of our inputting done, a lot of us have some coordinators that will be able to get that information in there for you.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm a new instructor, so I'm just really excited and
Well,
wanted to try
welcome.
to
We're
make
so happy to have you.
Thank you.
What are you
Thank you so
teaching?
much. It's Plyo Jam. It's like a dance cardio workout.
Ooh,
virtual.
nice. Who's your coordinator?
His name is John.
John. So you're over in the Southeast Agency. Wonderful.
Yes.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Any other questions that you can see that? Let me see. Do I see any other ones?
Evelyn Unger.
Hi, yeah. So you probably already answered this, but I just want to ask again. In ActiveNet, I don't see the link on where I can, go into my class. Do I contact my coordinator for that?
Absolutely. Do you know who your coordinator is?
Yeah, I think it's Tatiana.
Oh, Tatiana will help you. She's on the call.
Okay.
Just contact Tatiana. It could be that who knows, but she's perfectly capable of helping you. She's wonderful and she's great at ActiveNet. She'll help you out.
Okay, great. And I also I think Tatiana CC'd on an email with me. I just wanted to let her know, just get back to me when she can.
Oh, absolutely.
So
And she
much,
will.
appreciate it.
I've kept her really busy the last 2 days, but I promise I'll let her go and she'll answer that for you.
Thank you so much, Tatiana. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Anything else? We're just about to wrap up. We got 7 minutes left. I'll stick around in case anybody's got any questions. But those of you who feel like you've got all the information that you need, we appreciate you logging on and getting all this information. Keep an eye out if you need another ActiveNet overview, and we will supply that for you next week. And it was great to see you all here. We look forward to seeing your classes, and definitely send in those snippets from for those instructors that we have that are returning. If you're on here, send in that snippet so we can audit your virtual classes. And those of you who are starting to instruct, we can't wait to see those. We'd love to be able to see the little snippets of your videos so we can see the classes that we were able to provide to our patrons. Good night, everybody. If you have any further questions, you can I'll stick around for a couple minutes, but otherwise, have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Hello, hi, this is Miss Aisha again. I was wondering, I saw the dates, it starts May 31st. I mean, that's the date that they're gonna go live. So when do we need to have the flyer? May 31st is coming in a couple weeks. I mean,
No, it actually it's open for enrollment May 17th, but I believe classes begin in the first week of June. The May 31st date kind of confused me, which is why I skipped over it. But yeah, I think most classes start in the beginning of June, and online enrollment starts at 10 a.m. on May 17th. So I know I sent out a whole group of flyers today. We are diligently working on flyers. We have the master in Canva, and we're creating them all in the individual districts and agencies and sending them out to the instructors.
So will the instructors get a copy of what that looks like with our classmate?
Yeah, you're gonna you should get, who's your coordinator?
I know I get emails from Rashawn. I've gotten
Oh,
some.
you're mine. I sent some out today. It might not have been yours. I think she did the returning instructors today. So you can expect it by tomorrow, I'm sure. She had to do 700 and something flyers.
Oh my
We had a lot of classes. So I can guarantee you, you'll probably get it from me, but Angel's making your flyer right now, I guarantee you.
Okay. So, because May 17th, I'm like, that's Monday already. It's so shocking.
Yeah, that's when they open. Now, have you looked in ActiveNet to make sure your classes are all squared away?
I haven't had a chance to look at that.
So that's what the flyer's made from. So that's what I'm trying to let everybody know. Make sure that you, when we tell you to check your classes on ActiveNet, you go in and look at it, because otherwise we make the flyer wrong. She gets the information wrong, then the flyer gets made wrong, and it delays it. So it's okay that this time, but if you need any help, you can always email me or call me. I'm sure you got an email with my phone number at the bottom of it, and we'll be me or Craig or Brashawn or any of us would be more than happy to show you how to look over your class in ActiveNet to make sure all the information's correct. And the flyer will be made exactly from the information on that class.
Okay, because I'll send her an email with with the Google Voice number parents need to call. I have my own email domain now, which is what you all have been emailing me from. But I've got to figure out how to get that on my phone, because if I'm traveling, I don't always see it. You know,
right.
So the private, when you have your own email domain, it's a little different. I'm noticing. So
yeah.
With the Gmail. So okay, so May 17th, that will be active on all over LA County, or just the South region that I'm assigned to?
No, everyone. So it will go live to everyone on May 17th.
The whole entire county of LA.
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that. I thought it was only the region you were assigned to.
No, we send it out to everybody. Are you a virtual class or an in-person class?
That's a virtual.
Yeah, so it'll go out to everybody.
Okay. Okay.
I think I still see some hand raised. Ariana, if Ariana has their hand raised, if they have a question, you can answer it real quick. Go ahead and unmute your line. No? How about Jennifer Chapman? Nope. How about Joanna? Joanna, did you have a question? I thought I started to hear you. No? How about Michaela?
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, sorry, I was having some trouble. If you guys are making the flyers right now, and if we still need to, I just logged on ActiveNet today, and there's some things I need to change.
Coordinate. Do you know what? Do you
Is
know who
there
your
still time enough to?
Well, yeah. So do you know
Yes,
who your coordinator is?
Yes, I know both of the coordinators. It's just been hard to communicate with them in a timely manner. But is there still enough time to make the changes before that flyer is finalized?
Again, I can only speak for my own agency, and that's why we refer you to your coordinators, but there's very few of us on this call right now. So if you if you want to tell me who your coordinator is, one of us may be on the phone and be able to help you.
Oh, okay. It's William and Jeff.
William. Okay, so William, do we have is Alex, you on the call?
If she can provide her telephone number, I'll take it and maybe we can
send
an email.
Okay, perfect.
What's your name and number?
Oh, Micaela, Miccaella.
Uh-huh.
And did you want my email or phone number?
Whichever you're most comfortable giving out.
My phone number. I mean, we've communicated via both email and text. So they have my contact. Yeah.
Okay. Very well.
But I just noticed that because I know 4th of July, the parks are closed, and I actually did put in my proposal that I didn't want to. I wasn't going to work that.
Oh yeah, we're not
particular-
open. We're not doing classes on July 4th. It says that in all of our stuff. Yeah.
Right, but somehow, so basically, I'm only teaching on. Well, my proposal was Saturday classes only, morning and evening, but it looked like also scheduled for July 3rd, which is Saturday.
Oh yeah, so it would be on the 3rd because we're only closed on the 4th. So if you don't want it on the 3rd, that is definitely something you have to contact.
Yeah, that was on my proposal, and during the interview that was discussed as well.
Yeah, it's just some people have different people putting the stuff in ActiveNet, and so it doesn't always translate right. So definitely just point it out to your coordinators, and Tracy will shoot an email over. You know, like I said, it's not a big deal. We're just glad you brought it up so we can try and fix it.
Oh, absolutely. And then the fee that I had proposed for the classes during the interview, I thought we had concurred that it was a reasonable fee, but the fee that is on the ActiveNet now is significantly lower.
Again, I have had that happen a lot.
So I was wondering if that's something I just kind of bring up.
Yeah, Michaela, I can guarantee you it's probably a typo. I mean, that's why we want you to check that stuff over when you look at it. So we wouldn't change your fees. That's definitely something that we want to address with your coordinator. It's probably just a mistake. We do a lot of inputting. Yeah, just reach out to them, and Tracy will follow it up, and we just want to make sure that we get all the information right, which is why we do these. That's exactly what this is for.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Oh, absolutely. And that contract classes at parks.lacounty.gov, you can always send it there. And we will make sure that everything gets taken care of. Okay?
And yes, in addition to that, what she's saying now, which do you is there I know I've seen some classes where we'll have a set price, but then they'll say an additional $10 material fee, something like that. Is that how the county wants it done, or do they want everything embedded in one price?
It depends on the class. That really is something specific to talk to your coordinator about, because if it's stuff that they can easily go get on their own, and if you're going to be doing a virtual class and the people are a lot far away and they're not going to be able to come and pick the stuff up from a park, and it's stuff that they can't easily get on their own, then you may want to charge that is a hard question to have one answer to.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And that would have been decided in the original proposal. That's something that should have been discussed during the original interview or proposal, but you're mine. So you can reach out to me and we can discuss it.
I
got you.
Okay.
I got you. You just call that number at the, I'm in all day tomorrow. You just call the number at the bottom of that email.
Oh, okay. God bless you all. Thank you and have a wonderful night.
Absolutely. All right. If we got all those questions answered, I'm going to go home. Thank you all for your time and have a great evening.
Thank you, Susan.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Susan.